MyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? So it's been a very interesting night, has it not? We are looking at Bitcoin right now below $70,000. We're looking at Ethereum playing around with going below $2,000. And as we all know, Solana is already well below $100. This has been one hell of a bloodbath week. As some of you may know, we have Kyle Samani of Multicoin Capital. He's going to be transitioning from Multicoin Capital away from crypto and into robotics and AI. The reason why we bring this up is because that's a very well-known name in the crypto circles. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him and what he's going to do. He does retain the chairman role at Forward and Zama while maintaining Solana related investments. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. That's a career I would like to follow, right? Because he's going to have an impact. Just saying. Startail Group and SBI Holdings launched Stream. I think it's Stream. A layer 1 blockchain for institutional trading of Forex and tokenized equities and real world assets with regulatory integration and synthetic asset strategies. One hell of a mouthful for that press release. Don't forget to invest in yourselves. That's a very big deal. I almost forgot to say that today. Anyway, the reason why that's a big deal is because you have a number of companies moving into that space where they want to authorize tokenized services, and what else they want to do is they want to provide compliance and regulation services to their institutional customers. Ripple just did that. So yeah, it's a big deal. Pay attention to these things. When I tell you to pay attention to infrastructure, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Payy launched an Ethereum Layer 2 network for private ERC20 transfers, enabling MetaMask integration and competing with solutions like Aztec Network and Railgun. I'm going to read an important part to you again. An Ethereum Layer 2 network for private ERC20 transfers. If you read my first book, Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth, one of the sections in that book was about user sovereignty. I brought it up in the book a couple of years ago. Why? Because it's important. It's very important. And so when you look at a move like this, you're realizing, whoa, wait a minute, this really is all about privacy. As we move forward, we're going to see more and more pointing toward privacy. People aren't necessarily going to see it up front. They're not going to understand it. They're still just clicking through agreements and not reading them. Just saying. But privacy is going to be a very big deal for those of us that actually get it and know what it means to lose it. Next up, Uber reported a Q4 2025 results with a 20% plus gross booking growth, 200 million active users, and $2.5 billion in adjusted EBITDA, but its stock still fell 7% due to profit guidance and cuts and leadership changes. Give me a second. Stocks move not because they're doing well, necessarily, right? They're doing well. But stocks move because of sentiment. So although news hits, it's the sentiment that really carries it forward. So, hey, thanks for the positive news. Thanks for all that. But, I'm kind of shaky on your leadership changes. So I'm going to sell. This is what they do. Unless you come up perfect, squeaky clean. What's the perfect squeaky clean statement that you can make? We made this amount of morning. Good morning, Carter Jean. We made this amount of money the previous quarter. We're expecting to make this amount of money previous quarter. And it can't just be up. It's got to be street expected up. So you could say, I'm going to be up another 10%, but the street was expecting 10.5. You'll take a hit. You will take a hit. So when, you know how I always tell you guys, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's the GMB3. You want to know why I tell you guys that all the time? It's for little things like that. Because you'll go look at a stock and you'll be like, there's nothing wrong with this stock. Why is it down? There's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. Why is it down? Manipulation and sentiment. And in that order. Manipulation and sentiment. And I'll show you the chart later on. I was sitting here trying to draw trend lines. And I was like, this is too steep to draw a trend line. I get close. Because you need the 3 points on the chart and everything. You can get close, but I couldn't really nail it. So it was annoying the heck out of me. But I'll show you what I mean. TSMC accelerates 3 nanometer chip production in Japan with a $17 billion investment targeting Apple and Nvidia amid Japan's $1.23 trillion semiconductor and AI budget and geopolitical risk. Excuse me. What that means is TSMC is trying to make a shift. Why are they trying to make a shift? Well, because China is absolutely thinking about moving in. It's absolutely thinking about moving in. We'll get to the numbers later. I do news first and then I do numbers. But being down that low, yeah, we have a lot to talk about there. So they're looking to make a shift out of country. I don't know if they've broken ground, but I believe that there are factories or plants here in the United States that they're looking to build out. So that's going to be a very big deal. Just telling you, there are things that I'm looking at that make me say, ooh, got to pay attention to that. Must pay attention to that. It's an absolute. What else do we have going on? We've got House investigators probing World Liberty Financial over the $500 million secret deal linking Trump's 2025 inauguration with $187 million potentially flowing to Trump family entities and Binance's $2 billion investment. Shadiness will catch up to you. Will this investigation go anywhere considering who controls the Senate and the House right now? Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. However, it puts everybody on notice. Puts everybody on notice because it's going to come. It's going to happen. Excuse me. So yeah, I think you're going to see more and more politicians start to switch perspectives and things like that. Probably a few more retirements, probably a couple unexpected. And that's also going to affect our bags. Why? Because that's going to affect policy. A lot of people think that Democrats are not good on crypto. I mean, on both sides, you have smart people when it comes to crypto. On both sides, you have dumb people when it comes to crypto. But I think what the Democrats are saying is, listen, you're not putting in the right guardrails. And I believe there are some Republicans that are saying the same thing. You're not putting in the right guardrails. And the removal of guardrails from big finance, that's a problem too. That's a massive problem. Because literally we are truly set up to repeat 2007, 2008, 2009. We're right there. We are indeed right there. We just had a bunch of cases, including Citi, get dropped for consent orders. That's when, the government feels that, a bank has done something wrong or a financial institution has done something that isn't, up to par. Right? And so you get oversight and you have to jump through some hoops and you got to fix your stuff. And they got dropped. So there's no incentive for financial institutions to fix anything. Now, when you look at it like that, you start to realize, holy moly, yeah, you know what? That is a problem. That's absolutely a problem. Because we're moving forward with things that set us up for failure in the future. And if you remove things now, things will happen now. And then whoever's in office next, that will fall on them to have to figure out how to fix it along with everything else. But a market failure, that would be huge. That would be huge. And it would be across everything. So you start to understand why companies are saying, yeah, we're going to put more money into this little company over here because, boy, did they get out of hand. And now we're all reliant on their success. That won't even come close to happening until 2030. And even then, that's a maybe. So I don't know. I don't know. But it's not looking good when we roll back regulations. It's not good when you say you're in trouble. And then when a new regime comes in, don't worry about it. Because what it says to that bank is, oh, we're done with consent orders? Oh, man, great. They get to move all of that money from taking care of consent orders and fixing their systems to, forget about it until we get in trouble again. Let's get back to doing what we were doing. Right there. Right there. That's the first domino. Second domino. They get back to doing what they're doing and it hits again. To me, that's not an if. That's a when. That's a win because the number one word is greed. Good morning, 305. Greed. If you look across history, read Andrew Ross Sorkin's book 1929. Read all those books that talk about the financial systems from 1929 and forward. The number one word that will pop up in your head will be greed. And the reason why I tell you to read those books is because read those books, watch those documentaries. And the reason why I tell you to do that is because you'll have a better understanding and a better foothold within the financial markets. You'll understand the ebbs and flows. You'll understand the power plays. You'll understand all of those things so that when you're doing your own research, knowing your entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately, you will be better prepared. You will be better prepared. History is a big deal. And so I don't know, but I think a lot of you know that I'm a program manager. I'm a certified project manager. I do a lot of enterprise level program management, portfolio management. And one of the things I tell my teams is don't just write down the risks. Write down the telltale signs that we are realizing that risk. Because here's the risk. And that's an event that could happen. But the telltale signs start to show up before then. That's what we want to know. What are those telltale signs? What are those telltale signs that tell us we're going to realize a risk? Or that the chances are now increasing that we're going to realize a risk? Well, understanding that history will give you the ability to start to realize, oh, that's a telltale sign. Oh, that's a telltale sign. Oh, it's going to happen. And you can see how long it's going to be before it happens. And you'll sit there and you'll kind of go, oh, now I know how to invest. Now I know what to do. I have this window to invest. I have that window. When that window closes, things are going to obliterate the fan. Obliterate the fan. The reason why I'm going through this is because a lot of people ask me, like, how do you do all your own research? How do you know this stuff? How do you know what to pick out to deliver to us? I research every day, and I've done my history or homework. And let me tell you something. I don't just watch it once and leave it alone. I will watch, about history constantly. Every so often, I'll go back. I just watched Margin Call the other day. I've seen that movie like a bazillion times. but it helps you get into the mindset, helps you get into the head of. It lets you understand that, things can happen without people really understanding and saying, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And nobody did the math on what could happen. They could only do a forensic check on what did happen. And that's the biggest mistake, is that everybody thinks that, everything happens because of greed, number one. No, it also happens because of mistakes. And if you watch that movie, it was a big mistake. The company had been operating in a certain way, and nobody realized that that particular trading floor or floors had moved beyond its guardrails because there were no alarms. You hear what I said? It had moved beyond its guardrails because there were no alarms. Huh. So can that happen again? Yes. That was a movie that was filmed ages ago, right? But was based on real life events. Some numbers person happened to sit there and notice something. Got fired, handed it off to somebody else, and that somebody else happened to be somebody that really did understand the numbers and was able to go, oh, I think he missed this. And if you do this, now you can see. In other words, the company started doing business, thought they had guardrails, and didn't have the one guardrail they actually needed. You are trading beyond your means. So when other people see the circle jerk deals that are going on within AI, I'm seeing you're doing business beyond your means. Because some of that is money and some of it is credit. Right? Money and credit are not truly the same thing. Go do your own research. That's what I'll say about that. Money and credit are not the same thing. You know who has a good write-up on what is money, what is credit? Go look up Ray Dalio. Anyway, what else happened today? Tether's USDT reached 534 million users by the end of 2025 with $187.3 billion market cap at that point in time, $192.9 billion in reserves. I'm going to say that again. The market cap at the time, at the end of 2025 of USDT was $187.3 billion. In their reserves, they have $192.9 billion. I bring that up because somebody the other day said, I'm a little fearful of Tether depegging. And I said, I don't know if I'm worried about that. Why? They have more money in there. And I said, they have more money in their reserves than they do in market cap. And I wanted to go get the numbers. So there are the numbers. What else is going on? The Safeguarding Consumers from Advertising Misconduct Act. The Scam Act aims to hold social media platforms accountable for fraudulent ads. I have to read that act to see what they're doing and how they're doing it, what they want to put in place. But as you all know, growmybag.tv is a social media platform. You want to know the greatest difference between us and everybody else? We are a for-pay social media platform. Our content, our videos, our knowledge base, our articles, our feeds, our private investment groups, those are the products and services, not you. When you go to Snapchat and Facebook and TikTok and X and the rest of them, you are the product. That's why there's a massive user sovereignty issue. But on our platform, we're going to have very few ads. And we're not going to have pervasive ads, meaning we're not going to put them in your feed. The only ad you might see in your feed is, hey, we released a new book. Hey, you might be interested in this article. It's all going to be on our platform. It's not going to be, hey, you should buy some vitamins. The hell's that got to do with investing? So we will have ads on the site, but they're not going to be in places where they'll be in the way. That's the one big difference. As well as, we're not selling your data. We'll use it for our internal purposes. You sign up for one of our mailing lists, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. For our stuff, sure. But other companies tapping into that? Nah, that's not what we're about. Nuh-uh. We're building a real community. A real community around investing. Will we reach out and get sponsors and all that good stuff? Yes. Will they have editorial control over anything that we do? Hell no. Nah. What we want this community to be is community driven. The more we can drive this community forward through your donations, your memberships, the less ads we have to have. That's how I want to build this community. You have to think about this. 4 years ago, this was Grow My Bag. Grow My Bag 4 years ago wasn't even a thought. It was Eddie J on crypto doing videos for his kids. And then one of my guys was like, dude, you're banging out a lot. Why don't we turn that into something? Why don't we make something of it? That's when it went from Eddie J to Grow My Bag. Still doing these videos for my kids. That's why I have so much fun with it. But we're trying to do things differently. Now, I do have a little bit more news to go through, but you know what? You can go to growmybag.tv and you can go read the articles over there. What we need to do, that's right, we need to go over the numbers. As S03E25 brought up, there are some numbers we're going to be interested in. So let me go take care of that. Pull this, push that, get my notes out of the way. Yeah, that's something else I do. You can tell I do my own research every day. All of this is all my research. I do it every day. That's why it's up on screen. Like I'm literally reading my notes. Literally reading my notes. Some things I have memorized and some things I want to read to you specifically, but you can see my notes. So you know I'm real. I'm not one of these people that, don't do it. You can see, well, he's got notes. So if I'm wrong, it's not going to be because, somebody blew smoke up my tail. It's not going to be because somebody bought me. It's going to be because I didn't do enough research or researched the wrong thing, the wrong aspect. Just saying. Right now, Dow futures implied open 24 points up. S&P futures implied open 6.5 points up. NASDAQ implied futures implied open 21.25 points up. Oil down 0.97. US 10-year down 0.002. Interesting. Here's something bright. This was a bright moment. Alphabet reported yesterday, great numbers, but it wasn't enough. Everybody gets on me, and we'll get to the numbers where I show you this is why I like to know the rhythm. We got good news, and that good news wasn't enough to counteract all the bad crap that's been happening. So there's that. Who do we have reporting today? We're expecting Amazon, Shell, Lind, Banco Bilbao Vizcaya, Argentina, BBVA. That's what they're actually known by. Sony Group, Bristol Myers Squibb, KKR, Intercontinental Exchange, ICE. Let's change their name. Cummins. Let's see, who else am I paying attention to? Cigna, Fortinet, Digital Realty Trust. You got a lot of names in here that you should be paying attention to. Then for what's going on in terms of news, initial jobless claims, delayed because of the shutdown. And Fed speak. Pay attention to Fed speak. Pay attention to Fed speak. You want to know what they're thinking. You want to know how they're feeling about things. Pay attention to Fed speak. It's a big deal. Crypto fear and greed index went from 14 to 12. When I say extreme fear, I mean extreme fear. But it's not just crypto. Don't get it twisted. It's about the stock market too. DeFi Llama, we only have 100.09 billion in total value locked. That's right. All the markets have taken a massive hit. When we started, Bitcoin was below $70,000, and you can see right here. This is one of my lines. This is one of my resistance lines at 69,355. We crashed through it yesterday, or in the middle of the night. We went right through it, right there, right here. We went through it. Yeah. We had an opportunity over here. We had a small opportunity, and then we got dragged down again. Look at this. I mean, this is a straight line. I told you before, I tried to draw a trend line and couldn't do it, right? I was trying to pick out like 3 points, to see, what would line up. Let me make that a little bit longer. And I couldn't get to the 3 points. You can almost get there right about here. You can almost get there right about there. In no way is that good. Last night, Rick Ritchie and I were talking about how it could go and hit 63,000. He's at the 65,000 line, right? But if you recall, years ago, if you go back a couple of years, this is how I started drawing. Look at where we were. Look how far back, how far down we were. This is when I started drawing our lines. We were at 15,483 as the floor, and then I kept drawing, where we were consolidating, where we were capitulating, all that good stuff, and you start to see how we started going up. And I kept all of those lines. Why? Because guess what? Freaking history can repeat itself. So these lines get kept to help me look into the future. Right? We have an opportunity to go down. We had a couple opportunities right here. We look like we might have made a change. Right here, look like we might have made a change. Right here again. Right here again. Right here again. And then what happened? Go look at each one of the go create a Bitcoin chart and look at the dates, and then look at the news on everything that happened. That's all I'm going to say. Do your own research. Do your own research. That's your homework assignment. Do your own research. You know what you do? Do your own research and then go over to growmybag.tv and tell us what you found. Go hit us in the feed and tell us what you found. Just saying. Just saying. What else do you have? Look at this. Oof. Oh, that hurts the eyes. Blood in the street all over the freaking place. Blood in the street all over the freaking place. XRP, $1.36. It was only a couple of weeks ago that it was at above $2. Ethereum. It was only a couple of weeks ago it was at 30-something hundred. Solana, 122 plus. It's at $89. Everything's on sale. If you've got money right now, to me, everything's on sale. The biggest one that's making me choke a little, GMB at 682. It was only a little while ago that it was at 1,000. Yeah. Now you know why I keep telling people, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. One of the things I like to do is if I'm going to wet my beak, meaning I'm going to take some profit, some of that profit is actual profit. A piece of that profit gets broken off and placed into dry powder. A piece of that gets broken off and gets placed into dry powder. A piece of that gets broken off and gets put into the emergency fund. Why do we need this? Because dry powder, if we can find a damn floor, dry powder is going to work right here. Dry powder is going to work right here. You know what you're going to also hear right now? What you're going to hear right now are miners shutting down for a little bit. You want to know why? Costs too much to operate. That's the next thing. That's the next shoe to drop. Just saying. Problems beget problems. Just saying. Now, here's where we start looking at, I know, it's just a sea of red. Just a sea of red. Chill. Ugh. Patience. This is where you start to understand why I keep telling you guys, understand the rhythm of a coin. Pay attention to the coin that you're the coins or coin that you're interested in, and understand the rhythm of that coin. Because if you understand the rhythm of that coin, you'll understand how news, whether it be macro or micro, can affect that coin. Right now, we don't have enough news, enough good news to have a positive impact to buoy everything up. Google's great news was not enough. It was not enough. And with everything going on in the AI space, people started looking at software companies and kind of going, I don't think you're needed. I forgot the guy. It was a couple of weeks ago. Was it last week or the week before last? There was a big time investor. I forgot the name of the company. It'll hit me. But what he was saying was, listen, I don't know why some of these software companies are in business. And then I gave an example of, here's Salesforce. It's a really robust package. It's really good at what it does and all that good stuff. But most companies don't need something that big. They need some simple solutions that they can run internally. Boom. And yeah, with the help of AI, you can build certain things internally that can help you. AI and automation, you can build certain things that will help you do the bulk of what you need and not have to spend all that money on Salesforce. Go across the board and you can start realizing, holy moly, I can do the same thing with a lot of things. I started bringing up the I barely use Microsoft Word anymore. Crazy, right? So if I barely use Microsoft Word anymore, why do I have to get the whole package? That one. All these upgrades? The hell I need with your upgrades. What are you going to do that I can't already do? Oh, well, you're going to have cloud integration. You can save all your things in the cloud and blah, 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 blah. The hell I need that for? I don't want you to have my stuff. I do not want you to have my stuff. I've got 13,000 articles, over 2,000 videos. I don't want my articles anyplace but on my servers. You want to know why? Because we're about to go through a serious enhancement with our articles. You're going to love that. Already, you can go to growmybag.tv and say you're doing research on like Aster. You'd be able to punch in, I want to know about Aster, and it'll come back with all the articles we've ever written or discussed Aster. Nice, right? So when I say do your own research, we can be a part of it. Just saying. Just saying. Let's look at who's really taking a hit. Yeah, I didn't realize I was on this page. But yeah, you would come here and sign up. Regular membership is $12. If you want to join this particular private group, it's $120 a year, which includes being a bagger. So you get all of that, plus being involved in the private group. As a matter of fact, everybody in the Big Baggers group, you're going to get an email for this weekend's private call. We have a private video conference call with the Big Baggers once a month. And it's usually every second Sunday of the month. So that means it's going to be this Sunday. Actually, it's not going to be this Sunday. I'm going to have to move it to next Sunday. You want to know why? What's the most important thing that's going on this Sunday? That's right. My sons and I've got 3 sons, and my brother, my nephews can't make it. One is serving. Actually, they're both technically serving. Still proud of them and everything. I still remember seeing pictures of my brother, because one of my nephews is a Marine, punching his pin in. They punch it into your chest. The pins go into your chest. You shed that blood. So yeah, we'll be watching the Super Bowl. And yes, we will be going for the freaking Seahawks. What? It's my son's favorite team. That, and I don't give a rat's behind about the Patriots. Just saying. I've never liked the Patriots. Never liked the Patriots. Just saying. But let's get over to the crypto tracker. Oh yeah, log in. Security first. And let's go over to losers. And let's see who we have. XRP down 14%. A GMB X factor of 1.66. Yeah. If I put money in right now, can I make money on XRP? Yeah. In my humble opinion, I will make money if I put money in. Zcash down 13.76%. GMB expect of 112.31. 123 point. That's funny. Let's see who else are we paying attention to. Pendle down 12.54% with a GMB expect of 4.60. Aerodrome Finance down 10.70% with a GMB X factor of 5.93. Who else do we have? I don't really pay attention to that one. SUI down 9.79 with a GMB X factor of 4.30. And people ask me about SUI all the time. Yeah, I'm down with SUI. I am absolutely down with SUI. I like Ondo. Ondo happens to be down 9.73% with a GMB X factor of 7.46. And you can see how this just stays in the nines all the way down. Stays in the nines all the way down. Now we go over to the winners, and you see how we're in the zeros. That means damn near everybody is negative. Yep. Damn near everybody is negative. And anybody who's up right now, you don't have that 5% rule. So you stop right there. That's it. There's nobody else that's positive that fits my 5% rule. You're done. Everything's in the red. So you come back over here and you kind of go, wow, okay, who am I interested in? You guys know me. I'm BTC, ETH, BCH, BNB, XRP, Sol, if you're into that kind of thing, XLM, SUI, ADA, Doge, SHIB, Link, Uniswap, Aave. Love Aave. Aave's going to be making moves. Hype is already making moves. They've got a softer red. Why? Because they've had positive news. The only reason why they're red is because the whole market is red. Again, understand the rhythm of a coin. Because hype is red only because the whole market is red. Otherwise, it has had great news. Last night, I reported on it. Go to the website, read that article, and make a comment. We'll see it. We'll see it. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Tell your friends about this community. It's the only one that actually cares about your investment knowledge. Only one. A whole social media ecosystem geared toward you increasing your investment knowledge. Wow. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And absolutely, thank you for your trust. I'll be back tonight for the overflow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everybody, have a good one. Bye-bye.